Hello everyone. In this tutorial we will see how we can validate JSON Web Token and how we are able to protect our Flask API. So first we will see how client communicate with Cognito, and here we will find some tokens, JSON Web Tokens. After that we will decode this token online and explore JSON Web Token a little bit more. After that we will be able to decode token with Python, and we need to find signature, but with a little help from nodejs. After that we will validate token with Python and integrate everything in our project. So let's get started. First we can go here, and in our app.js file, in our setWelcome function, we are able to console.log this Cognito user, and we will see what we will receive in our console. So sign in with test and test password, and with little bit inspect element, and here we are able to find this object. And in this object we have sign in user session with 3 tokens: success token, ID token, and refresh token. So let's see in our code why we receive this. We have this Cognito user, we have it, and on this Cognito user we call .getSession method. So every time when user call this .getSession method, user, actually client, communicate with Cognito. So Cognito will send to the user these 3 tokens: access token, identity token, and refresh token. It's important to know that first 2 tokens, success token and identity token, are valid for only 1 hour, and after that expiration time, user, client, need to have this refresh token. If refresh token is valid, then Cognito will send to the user new access token, identity token, and refresh token. So some bad guy, some hacker in the middle, have only 1 hour to stall access token and identity token and to encrypt HTTPS protocol, which is, I believe, not possible. So let's now see what we have here in access token. Let's console.log this access token.json web token. So just copy this for a little help. Console.log this and access token.json web token. So let's see this in our console. And yeah, this is really strange string, really big, really strange string, and we will go to decode this token online. So we can go in our Google. I will close this, JSON web token decode sorry, and we can find this site, and we are able to paste our token here. So let's go here, copy, paste, and on the right side we will receive decoded token. So we have 3 colors here, actually 3 parts of our token: first part, then dot, then second part, then dot, and this last 3rd part. So from the first part we are able to decode our header. From the second part we are able to decode our actual payload, our data, with, for example, our username, expiration date, token usage access, etc. And this 3rd part, last part, which is signature. So why this last part, this signature, is so important here? As you can see, this site online site on the internet is able to decode our token from the first part and second part, but no one in the world is able to generate good signature. Why? Because this signature is generated from these 2 parts with some algorithm function, we will see it later, and with some key on that algorithm function. So we can play a little bit with this token. We can now decode it with Python, and we will see that we need some parts for this signature. So first, if we want to decode this token with Python, we need one module, Python module, and this module is pyjwt. We can find it here, and we need to find documentation. Yeah, here is the documentation. Just a second. Yeah, and we can install it with this. So let's go here, install it. Yeah, great. And now we are able to call Python and import JSON Web Token. Great. So we can copy our token here in our Python, and this is this token, copy, and yeah. So we imported JSON Web Token, we have our token, and now we are able to call something like this, JSON Web Token.decode our token, but without verifying, without looking at the last part of our token. So if we press enter, we will receive information about our token. But of course, if our verify is on true, then we will receive an error. We can try it, and yeah, something wrong is happening. So what we need to do now, we can go in our documentation of our module, and we can find that we need something like this, JSON Web Token.decode our token with some secret, with some signature, and with some algorithm, for example this. But our Cognito will use RS256, and we can go here in installation and prepare everything for this. So we will need to install this module also. Close this, install pycrypto, and now we can go and start Python again. We can import JSON Web Token, go in our documentation, and we need to register this algorithm. So import this RSA algorithm, register it. Just a second. Yeah, great. And after that, we are able to go here and to write this, actually this, because we use RS256. So let's copy it. Of course, encoded is not defined, so our token is this. We find it here, copy it again. What? Yeah, token equal to this, and now we are able to call decoded is equal to JSON Web Token.decode of our token with our key and with our algorithm. So frankly, we can find that we don't know this public key, and this is the last part that we actually need to decode our token, so actually to validate our token. So now we need to find this public key. So find signature with a little help of nodejs. Unfortunately, I didn't find any easy way to do this with Python, so we will do this with nodejs. But it is good that you don't need to have a node in your project So you can use only Python, but for this little small project we will use Node.js only for finding our signature. So let's go here in our code. I prepared this folder here, and we can open our terminal in this folder. So change directory to PAM, and we can go to npm init. So yeah, everything is okay. Great. So let's open our editor, and here we have this index.js. So we will look at this code in a moment, but we can find that we need to install this request and this jwk2pm module. So we will need to write something npm install request and this to pam, just to copy it, of course delete from here, and yeah, great. Okay, enter. Wait a little bit to install these two modules, and yeah, that's everything, I believe. So now we are able to call this to run this index.js with Node, and yeah, okay, great. Now we can go and explain our code. So here in the index, this is not hard to understand code, but I will not important to understand code, but I will put in the description full explanation of this code. I stripped it a lot to only find this this PAM value. This is our public key. So it's important just to write this URL here. So you need to go to this site, and you need to specify your region. For us this is US East 2, and to specify your user pool ID. We find our user pool ID in our first tutorial. So if everything is okay, we are able to call this run this index.js with our node as we do this here. So if we do this, we will receive this string, and this is our signature. So we can go here, write our public key. Of course this public key for now is not defined, so public key is equal to this, and if we now run this decode method, yeah, there is no error, so we are able to print this decoded, and yeah, now everything is okay. We validate our token successfully. So let's see our workflow. Validate token is Python is done. So the last part of this tutorial is to integrate everything in our project. So let's go in our project, of course, close this, run our server and go in our app.py file here. Oops, great, close this. Okay, great. So we need to receive our token here in our API/protected API. How we can do this? We can do this something like this. So we will receive some access token here as a Ajax call. So we will receive something from request.form of, for example, access token. So of course we need to go in our app.js file, and here we need to specify this access token. We look at this code in the last tutorial. So this is actually our access token, and what is our token here? This is from our console.log. So copy this. Access token is, oops, I will show you, Cognito user dot sign in user session dot access token dot JSON web token. And with this with jQuery we made Ajax call to our server. So access token is requested form of access token, and let's just print this. Oops. Sorry. Times. Oops. And sorry. And print access token. Great. And we can go here, again refresh, and look here, global name request is not defined, of course, so we need to import request as well. And let's check it again, refresh, go here, and yeah, we received our token in our Flask API. You can see here that I use request.form. Maybe you will need to do something like request.json, but for this project for now it's form. But if you receive some error, if you use some Angular or something like that, this maybe you will need to specify this .json, but it's not important in this tutorial. So now we need to validate our access token in our project. So we will write something like this: if is token valid with what token, which token, this access token, then we will return some protected data from API, and if not, we will return bad token with some error, for example 401. Oops, 401. Yeah, great. So of course we need to specify this function is valid token, and we can write it here. Definition is valid. What? Is token valid with some token, and for now just return true. And let's check this. Of course we want to receive some protected data from API. Why? Because we return only true. So let's go here, refresh again, and yeah, we have some protected data from API again. So let's implement this is token valid function. Is token valid? Okay, of course. Okay, so how we can do this? Here we need to write, for example, this PM value or our signature. How we can write it here? I forgot. It's not important. We can write something like m is equal to our PAM, so we can copy it from here, copy and paste it here. Great. And after that we need to do something like this. We can try to JSON web token.decode what our token with our signature and with algorithms equal to rs256. Of course, as we saw earlier, we need to specify this algorithm. So of course, close parentheses and go in our documentation. So here in installation we need to import this. We can import this here, and also, oops, sorry, and also we need to register this algorithm. So for example, maybe better after here. Yeah, great. So here we try to decode our token, and for example, for now, if this is okay, and if there is no error, we can return true, and if there is some exception, we will return false. So let's check this. Go here, run our server again, and JSON web token is not defined. Why? Oh, of course. Import the JSON web token. Let's try it again. Great. So let's go here, refresh again, and we have some protected data from API. Why? Because there is no exception. But if we change this value, for example, make it this, small letters, and refresh it again, there is no some protected data from API. Why? Because here we will receive some exception, and because of this exception, this token valid function will return false. So roll back our signature value, our PM value, and this is almost everything of our project. We are able to decode our token, and we can find if there is some exception, but for a little to be sure that everything is okay, it's able to find in Cognito documentation. We can do some little work here, some more work here. So this is actually our decoded token, and we can check some values from this decoded token. If that value is expected for us, then we can be 100% sure that everything is okay. Why we need to do this? Maybe some man in the middle, some hacker, is able to generate this last part, this signature of our token, but with specifying some wrong data in the first two parts of our token. So here he can write something bad, here he can write something bad, and he will receive good signature. But if we specify that in this part token use is always an access, then some bad guy will not be able to write something bad here. He needs to write access, and we can specify this value here and also etc. So we can go a little bit more in our code, validate these parts too, and if everything is okay, then there is no chance for some hacker to do something wrong. So we can check this ISS value. So what is this value? We can copy it from here. We know it, and copy it here. So if our decoded token of this value is not this ISS value, then we will return false. We will return false even if there is no exception, if this decoded token is valid. But if this ISS value is not good, then there is some hacker in the middle, and we can print, for example, ISS false. Of course, this is not important, this is just for these demonstration purposes. So we can check this again. So go here again, refresh. Of course, some protected data from API is here, but if we remove something from this value, and check again. Now there will be an error. Yeah, why? Because ISS is false. Great. After that, what we can do? Also, we can check our token use. So decoded token of token use is not equal to access, then we will also return false. And okay, we can print, for example, access false. So let's check it again. Refresh. Of course everything is okay, but if this is not access token, we remove, and yeah, again error. Why? Access false. So remove, roll back this here, and we can, I can close this, and we can do one more thing here. For example, this value, we can find it here. Yeah, this value, I believe this value. So this value is equal to, let's copy it. Oops, yeah, great. So, and if JSON Web Token dot, because we need to go to find our header, so we can call JSON Web Token dot get on a verified header of our token, and look at this value. Yeah, and if this is not get, then we will return again false with some, oops, sorry, with some print of get false. Great, let's check this. Go here, refresh, and yeah, we receive some protected data from API, but if this key value is something else, and refresh, there is an error. Why we receive error? Because this value is false. So that's everything for this tutorial series. We saw how we are able to set up our project. After that, we saw how we can integrate everything with Cognito in our JavaScript, and here in the last tutorial we saw how we can actually protect our API in our Flask. Of course, some next steps is to move this is token valid in some separate module, or at least some separate file, and you can play with some values of this decoded token. For example, you are able to return not true. You can return decoded token of, I believe, user. We can go check this, yeah, of username or something like this. But I believe that this is enough for this tutorial. I hope that this tutorial series will help for someone of you, and yeah, goodbye.